Chelsea's pre-season started for roughly around 2 weeks ago under a new manager in Enzo Maresca. We have had a couple of training sessions in our leagues and in the United States where we are on tour. We have played 2 games so far out of 5 there, and then we're going to play our 6th friendly at home against Inter later. But we have faced the Wrexham so far. It ended in a 2-2 draw, and yesterday we faced the Scottish side Celtic and we got absolutely destroyed 4-1. But if we're gonna be honest, it could have been a lot more. In terms of pre-season, result isn't everything, and we're still in pretty early days in pre-season so far. We have still 4 games to go, a lot of training sessions to be held and go through, and things can turn around, things can improve. But I'm also going to talk a little bit in the video around 4 talking points that I want to discuss and I want to be vocal and honest about. And I'm also going to finish the video on whether we should be worried as Chelsea fans, because it's not looking good in the current moment. But as I said, it is early days, things can turn around. It's not until the season starts things actually get serious. But you can not only be blind and say also that, oh, it's only pre-season, things will click, things will eventually be good. Because the things we have seen so far is not good at all. So we're gonna go through that very shortly, but before we continue any further, as usually, if you want to be a legend, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Chelsea Explained, and hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when the content drops. But so far against Wrexham and Celtic, we have looked defensively shambolic. And for some reason we have played with a very high line than usually, and we have got very exposed. Not only in behind the back line, we have got exposed through the middle. Despite us playing narrowly, we have been exposed on the flanks, inside the box. We misplacing passes. One example was Chile yesterday that led to a goal. Sanchez misplacing passes, other players, we making errors, mistakes. Our defense look clueless in the build-up play. But it's also understandable, you know, because it's pre-season, new manager, some of these players have never played with each other before, there's absolutely no chemistry there, and it will have to be built up on. And it can be confusing for the players in the beginning, and hopefully we can expect a slow growth that we building slowly upwards and that we can see throughout the season. But now against Wrexham and Celtic, we have looked defensively all over the place. We're gonna look at 2 pictures here. Here you can see when we played with a very high line and Celtic could just play an easy through ball over the top here. And now Celtic didn't take advantage out of this situation. It could have been another goal here. Now you can try things out in pre-season, but I expect him to make tweaks when he sees that some things is clearly not working. One of the goals I think is the 2-0. I'm just showing you the picture here, but it started out wide that Colwill didn't close down his men. He was too sluggish. Mudryk had no idea where his marker was. And Sanchez is screaming to Fofana to mark Furuhashi or whoever it was on that left post. Fofana, no idea where his guy was, and Celtic scored 2-0. So this was just 2 examples I wanted to show you quickly. Maybe the players are tired, there's no chemistry, the sharpness isn't there, or is it that they're playing in the wrong positions, or they're just not focused enough in the current moment? It's too early days, they need more training sessions and matches in the legs. I hope though that is the case. So I expect things to be sharpened in the defense, but I felt already against Wrexham, and when you feel when you see Enzo Maresca's system, you feel like you're going to be exposed, especially on the flanks. It's going to be difficult to defend there. A lot of teams will target that area of the pitch, and some of the goals from Wrexham came from that position. Same here against Celtic. So that's something he needs to look out for. When we're talking about defenders, we have, or I think it's honestly the owners that has decided to leave Trevoh Chalobah at Cobham. He didn't travel to US. Is Chalobah a world-class centre-back? No, he isn't. But none of our defenders is. He's from Cobham, he's free, and in last season, in my opinion, he was the second best centre-back after Thiago Silva, despite being injured. Then I think the Sassi was solid in some games, then he went missing. Buddy Chile was suspect, Colville had an okay year. Ever since Tuchel brought up Chalobah in 2022, he has put in a solid, decent work. He's literally there for free in the club, but the owners still want to just focus on the financial aspects of the sport, which is to sell the Cobham graduates for pure profit. Chalobah is good enough to be a squad player and perhaps start. At least ahead of the centre-backs we have here. I mean, Tosin, before we were linked with him, I had never heard of him. I have never seen him play. I don't know anything about this guy except when we were linked with him. And then I started to look up what type of profile he is. But are these centre-backs necessarily better than Chalobah? We spent so many millions of these guys. So I think we're going to miss Chalobah here. I think it would have been crucial to have him on the US preseason tour so Enzo Maresca could have seen and assessed him properly. But I guess the owners decided that that was not going to happen and they only want to sell him. So the third thing we're going to talk about is Robert Sanchez and Jorgensen. That will be our new signing from Villarreal. And Enzo Maresca wants goalkeeper that is comfortable in possession and that can be advanced outside the box and sweep up balls, play passes, be very involved in the build-up play. For me, what we have seen last season under Pochettino, what we have seen in these two preseason games, Sanchez doesn't look that great in possession. He looks decent, but he misplaces a lot of passes. But that can improve slowly as well. So, I mean, it's still early days in pre-season, but from what we saw last season and in Brighton, for me, Sanchez isn't... He's okay on that, but he's not excellent. If you make mistakes in Premier League, these teams will definitely punish you for it. And yesterday, for some reason, Sanchez started to play long balls out of nowhere. And we know that Enzo Maresca never wants his goalkeepers to do so. But then he came after the game, in the post-match interview, and told the journalist that that was an instruction from him. So Enzo is going away from his principles. So I don't really know what... It feels like Enzo Maresca, he said that he wanted to have Sanchez as his first choice. But now he maybe has seen him and feels like he isn't the answer. And therefore Jorgensen is coming in now. And I'm not going to say Sanchez is totally crap, because he's good at commanding the box. He's really strong there, collecting crosses. He's a decent, solid shot stopper. And he can play out some decent passes out from the back, but he's not excellent on that. And Jorgensen can provide that. However, he isn't a goalkeeper that's going to come out and collect crosses, because that is his weakness. And he's very young. He's only played at the top level for 1 year at Villarreal, so he's not a leader, experienced goalkeeper. So this talking point is that I'm not confident in the goalkeeper position. I think we're gonna struggle there massively. That's my feeling. I don't know if Robert Sanchez and Jorgensen will necessarily suit Enzo Maresca. I'm worried there. So we can only wait and see how things is going to evolve on the preseason and this season. Last thing I want to talk about, that when preseason starts, is so important to regain back the fitness, and you need to push yourself. The players need to push themselves, but it's the manager, the different coaches that has the responsibility there to really push the players to regain the fitness levels back. And we are 2 weeks into preseason now, and against Celtic our players looked out of gas quickly. We looked so tired, and I think there is too many games in preseason. The owners want to play as many games as possible to earn money in their pockets. That's all they care about. I think it would have been better if we not playing 6 games, but we're maximum playing 4 games, and then we're having more training sessions instead, because that allows you to raise the fitness levels. Even Enzo Maresca will get more time to work on his tactical ideas, and the players can build more chemistry and understand where they're gonna be, what they're gonna do in certain situations. And I feel like we're missing out on that. And I feel like that was the same case last preseason and the preseason before that. Ever since our owners took over, they have packed preseason with more matches. It's not easy for the players. They're gonna have to travel in USA from one side to the other to play a game in just 3-4 days. It would be best if they were at the same place, trained, and then play maybe 3-4 matches, in my opinion. Heard around that we're not gonna regain the fitness levels we need to be ready when Premier League starts. We look defensively shambolic. The centre backs we have bought has been suspect so far. They haven't proved enough to be a Chelsea level, and I feel like we're clearly going to miss Chalobah. I think it's a mistake selling him. And even if we were to sell him, it's not like we're gonna upgrade him with a proper elite centre back. No, they're gonna bring in another youngster, like an Anselmino they have purchased from Boca Juniors. I'm a little bit worried, I'm gonna be honest. It hasn't looked good whatsoever. But it's early days in preseason. Things can improve. We have a lot of players out on holiday that will eventually come back and raise the levels in the squad. That's going to be starters like Palmers, Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo, etc. But I can't lie, what I'm seeing so far has not been good, and I am worried. I'm not saying everyone has been shambolic, but in general it hasn't been good enough, and I'm scared for the season. If we're gonna continue to play like this in the next preseason game, we can just cancel it. Then we don't have teams show up against City in their first game. Hopefully we cross fingers and that things will turn around, look better, but things need to sharpen up immediately from the get-go, because it has not been good at all. So that's my opinions of what I'm thinking, what's going on in the current moment, how I'm seeing it, and let me know, of course, know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll happily read it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you for more videos later, and I'm out. Peace.